What's going on, you guys? I had a request for a toolbox tour. Here's my 56-inch US General blue toolbox that I had when I worked at H&W Off-Road and here in Opelika, Alabama. I recently moved jobs because they told me they'd give me more money as a boat mechanic over at Ashley's Boats. So that's where I'm currently working at. Didn't need such a big toolbox, so I'm just rocking with my roll cart up there. So you'll notice that I don't have as many tools as I should here in this box here, but this is just my house box. So most of my good tools and more of my tools are up at work where I need them. But I'll just go ahead and tell you guys right now, it's a whole lot easier to work and do stuff to a boat than a vehicle. So less work, more money, you know, I'm in for that kind of deal. But we'll go ahead and start off with the wall here. I got my brake grease here, some other odds and ends, some liquid gasket maker right here, some stop squeak for brake pads. You're actually supposed to put that on the pads, believe it or not. Some anti-seize, some dielectric grease, and then just some misc. It says drill bits on there. It does have a couple of drill bits, but it's just random items. Up here we got your magnet, a little inspection light right here, good old yellow China marker, a black China marker, great for marking things. Doesn't matter if it's rusted, painted, you name it. These little China markers will mark on just about anything. Chalk marker, a paint marker. Up here we got your Permatex ultra black gasket maker, some safety wire, your battery terminal protector, some heavy duty oil stabilizer, some grease, and then some petroleum jelly for some O-rings and ends of hoses and whatnot, some more oil stabilizer. Down here we got a spark plug gap gauge and just a regular old feeler gauge. This is just your good old Harbor Freight inspection light, 3 different modes. You can also rotate the head whichever way you want it. Pretty nice little light for the money. Up here we got one of my favorite lights. It's a snap-on light, rechargeable, as you can tell. It's magnetic on the base. You can bend the head. Pretty bright. It only has one setting, but I love this light because for inspecting and finding leaks and AC unit, or not units, but AC systems on vehicles, you got UV. You can find a leak in no time with this light right here. It's one of my favorite lights. Up here I got some electronic cleaner, some mean green super strength cleaner and degreaser, wide spray WD-40, a little scrub brush, a little Milwaukee charger, and then a little H&W off-road emblem. Sorry about that, guys. Up on the top, you know, you used to just have a rubber mat, but when I was taking it home, I kind of forgot about it, but I did have a strap running over it and everything, but it blew off in the wind, and that was all she wrote. But just a regular old blowtorch just chilling over there in the corner. In here we got our Tecton shallow impact sockets. Let's get that here. It goes from 11 millimeter to 32. It does skip a couple sizes, but not too sure what the price is on this, but for the money it gets the job done. You can see where I don't really use a lot of different sizes that it has, but most of the sizes I do use. And sometimes I'll run across where I do need a certain size that it doesn't have, and I just get lucky and find, you know, a socket laying around here. Right here you just got your impact, or handheld impact that you strike with a hammer. This works great for brake rotors, but that's all about what I used it for. Down here, some 3/8 impact sockets. Don't really use these that much, but sometimes when you need I really don't know why I got those, but they're nice to have. Down here we got the bread and butter, one of the best deals ever for just about everything you need. $75 right here in this kit. Just covers just about everything you need. You got your 8mm deep and shallow all the way to 19mm. Your 9/16 deep and shallow all the way to 3/4. You got your 2-inch extension, and I believe that's a 5-inch or something like that. A freshly rebuilt ratchet, just a worn out old universal joint, some other odds and ends, some brake grease, a little 3/8 adapter for my impact, a screwdriver or a bit for my impact, and then a adapter for 3/8 to 1/4 inch. Over here we got some of my bigger sockets, some oil filter sockets, some 12-point sockets, the inverted 12-point. This right here was my best friend at H&W for aftermarket wheels. It's the spline drive for the lug nuts. I was eventually going to weld these two together, that way I wouldn't have to keep up with two pieces, you know, because everybody's always got a 21mm laying around, you know, just a deep well old socket. I was going to weld it together, you know. This right here is a Tecton oxygen sensor socket. It came in handy a couple of times. These right here are your Allen head sockets. I got those at just a regular parts store. Then I got this at a parts store as well. It's just your grabber with a magnet on the end, and it also has a light, but when I got it, the light didn't work, and I just hadn't bothered to replace the battery. This is my snap-on 3/8 torque wrench. There's batteries for it. You're supposed to take them out. That way you don't run your batteries down, and they possibly don't corrode and mess up your torque wrench. Wouldn't want to, you know, mess up a $500 torque wrench or anything. That would really suck. But this has newly been recalibrated in 5/2/21, so this month. Actually, my old torque wrench quit working. The screen was displaying some funky, weird codes and stuff. I paid like $75 and gave it to my dealer, and he sent it off, and they sent this one back, so I'm pretty happy with that. This is a regular old Pittsburgh torque wrench, a 1/2 inch. This one gets you in the right ballpark of what you needed to do. They're somewhat reliable. Like I said, they'll get you in the around where you need to be torque spec wise, but if you're doing something very delicate and very precise, I would definitely get something higher end and better quality than that. This is your good old cheater bar right here for your Tecton ratchet when you can't break something free and that's all you got. You can tell that this has been through the ringer. This right here is my big old womp stick right here. This is a good old 1/2 inch ratchet, pretty long. This serves two purposes, as a breaker bar and a weapon if you needed to. The part number on this is SHLF80A. There's your part number on that. This is a pretty good ratchet for bigger stuff and torquing or removing bolts that are stubborn. Over here is my wrench drawer. Just a couple of big wrenches, a little 24mm gear wrench. This is a 1 5/16 wrench, a couple of miscellaneous wrenches over here. Right here is my Tecton wrench set. Like I said, a couple of these wrenches are missing because they're at work, and you know I need them more at work than I do at the house. But I've got 8mm all the way to 19mm, so that covers pretty much what I need here. If not, I'll probably just get lucky and find a wrench laying around here. A couple of crow's feet sockets, a compression tester. Just use this on that Dodge Ram over there. Some Matco brake caliper holders. This right here will save your butt when you're doing brake jobs at a, you know, regular old dealership or what have you, man. Let me tell you, this right here pays for itself. Some people get those little plastic ones that screw down the middle. Those work pretty well, but when you're working on bigger trucks and stuff, this set right here will save your tail. Here's the part number on it. Alright, a couple of other oddball wrenches, an extra pair of strippers right here. There's that drawer. This is my screwdriver drawer and other handled drawer. This is one of my favorite screwdriver sets. I actually got a pretty good deal on this. I think my dealer gave me this set for around $200, maybe a little less. They all have the instinct gripped handle. Some of my favorite handles. This is your panel clip tool set right here, the 3-piece set right here. This longer one in the back will save your tail on some newer model Fords for the front clips on them. These are my long pick set. I love this set as well. My feeler gauge set, you can put any of these gauges on the handles here and they work pretty well. I believe this is a part number for them. I think my dealer let these go for, I think it was around $100, like $99, something like that. Here's your seal tool kit right here. This is probably my favorite one right here for taking out seals without damaging them. They work pretty well and I love them, let me tell you what. This set right here is your radiator hose pick set. They work very well, let me tell you. This one's probably my favorite for getting around there and just wallering it out, and that way you can pull it off. These are for the harder to reach hoses. They work very well. They were pretty expensive, but they saved my tail a time or two, you know, from, you know, just saving time, basically. These are some of my favorite wire strippers right here. Here's the part number on these. These only go up to 12 gauge, and you can only use it on soft wire, but that's fine. I'm not wiring a house or anything. You got 2 cutting edges on these, one right there in the crack of that, up here. Your crimpers up top is one of my favorite parts about these. Instead of it being towards the bottom and the cutter being up here, there's been a lot of times where I've had another pair and been trying to crimp something down here, and it'll be in a tight spot, and I'll be, you know, trying to crimp it, but I'll also be trying to cut a wire while I'm doing that. So that's why I'm glad that the crimper is up here and not down there. So I love this set right here. You also have a little pair of pliers up top for, you know, pulling off sheathing or whatnot. Down here I have an older set of snap-on pliers. I think these are from like the early 2000s. They're kind of worn, but I have my newer set at work. These are some old channel lock cutters. They've been through the ringer as well. They cut just about anything. They've lasted pretty long, good time, probably about 3 or 4 years, and you know, they don't really have much slop in them. As far as the needle nose pliers go, they have been through it, and they are pretty much worn to the bone here. But they still work for, you know, doing what I need to do here at the house. Down here I got a couple of alignment bars, a tape measure. This is what I use for interiors, or what I used to use for interiors when I install stuff and get into the little crevices and vacuum it out while sweeping it out with that. This is my little brass hammer for a little delicate work. A little ball peen. And then my big old big hitter right here. This is a 32 ounce. There's the part number on that. If you ever want to hit something and move it, these right here will do it. if you ever want to take a ball joint loose or what have you on a spindle or anything like that, that will do it within 1 or 2 hits. Just some more miscellaneous items right here. This is a blind seal tool right here for input shafts on like a Toyota Sequoia. You know, you got your transfer case and your output shaft. You have the shaft sticking about that far out and then the seal far back in there. This right here will pull it out no problem. It saved me from a lot of headaches and breaking a lot of different screwdrivers and marring up the seal surface. That right there will do the job and save you some time. This right here is my Matco Air Hammer with a couple of different attachments. This right here is a beast. I love it. Pickle fork and just a square for cutting and fabricating things for people's vehicles. Down here is kind of like my power tool and power drawer, sorta. I hadn't really organized the box that much, so this is just how it is now. This is a neck light from Snap-on. It's a pretty decent light. I'm not sure how many lumens it has, but the battery life for the amount of time that I use it for is pretty good. Keeps your hands free and whatnot. I don't think it has a part number on it anywhere. Yeah, there you go, right there. So there's the part number on this neck light. I love it. I like the color green, if you can't tell. This is just a magnetic bowl from Harbor Freight. Got some miscellaneous parts in it. This is a ratchet strap from engines for boat motors when they come in on the crate. Radiator pressure test kit from Pittsburgh. Actually need to get me a newer one because this one is already sort of bit the dust by staying on 5 psi all the time. Not really giving me a correct reading of where I needed to be. Down here I just got like the bundle deal from, you know, I'm missing my impact and my drill, but for Christmas I got the little Sawzall, this ratchet right here, 2 batteries, that light, and a little, I mean, they're still brushed motors, so they're not the fuel, but it came with the impact and a drill. They're still good, but, you know, I'm still rocking them. But the drill and the impact are at work. I just don't really need an electric ratchet at work, so I got this home. This right here is a right angle impact. I got it in 3/8. This right here will save your butt on brake jobs as well for breaking loose stubborn caliper bolts and caliper bracket bolts. This right here is just a light that I got when I worked at H&W installing camper tops on the back of people's trucks because for some reason people don't want to keep these in there. I don't know why. I mean, I would love to have a light in the back of a camper top if I ever had one on the back of my truck, but I used to have like 5 of those until I tried to soup them up and make a brighter light out of them, but it didn't work out too well. This right here is my big impact. It's actually the 1 key Milwaukee Fuel 1/2" M18. This will save your tail if you're doing a lot of tires and what have you with 1/2" stuff. I just recently picked this up. This is a test light, a Snap-on test light. It'll actually, let's see, here's a part number on that, the EECT 400G. This actually is only recommended for 12 volt because if you hook it up to anything more than that, like 24 volt, it'll fry the internals. So do not do that, and they will not warranty it. I think this was $100. It'll display the voltage and it'll light up as well, so I like that. Down here I've got just some miscellaneous wire, a whole bunch of stickers, because when you work in the off-road industry, a lot of people don't want you putting stickers on their vehicles, and usually when you never have time to ask them if they want to keep the stickers, so you just end up with a whole bunch of stickers. So over here we just got some battery terminal ends, a couple hose clamps, some more battery terminal ends, some sanding wheels, more wire, some zip ties are in some of those bags as well. These are some reflective strips, some more bolts, the box for the test light. Here's the part number again if you needed to catch that. Some terminal ends, or wire ends and connectors, a DeWalt battery charger, some funnels, because here at the house funnels are pretty hard to come by. Somebody takes them and doesn't put them back. Here's a part number for the light here, ECARC041G. I love that light. Some more electrical connectors, a Pitman arm puller, just miscellaneous stuff in that drawer. Up here is my air tool drawer. Ingersoll Rand wire wheel or cutoff wheel, whatever you want to call it. 3/8. This is actually a Napa air impact. I love this gun right here when I don't have my right angle impact. This is my favorite Ingersoll Rand right here for when my 1/2-inch battery is dead. Some safety glasses, regular Husky cutoff wheel, just a die grinder that used to have a wire wheel on it until it went bad. This is a Matco Air Blower. This is probably one of the best air blowers I've ever had, and I've had quite a few of them. Let's just say Harbor Freight tops out about right here on this air blower. Here's the part number on it if you're curious. But it tops out about right here, and when you give this baby full throttle, it's like you're emptying the whole tank. Just a regular old air tuck. This air gauge, I've probably had this since I was about 5 or 6 years old, so it's kind of special to me. Just another air gauge, or tire gauge, whatever you want to call it. Down here's my ratchet and extension drawer. I've only got a few ratchets here at the house because most of my other ones are at work. So these are 1/2-inch extensions. If I need a 3/8, I'll just go in that drawer there and get them out of the Tecton kit. This is my snap-on, one of my favorite snap-on ratchets, the swivel head. Here's the part number on it. It is FHN F10 or F100. There's that one. This one is a little 1/4-inch ratchet from Snap-on. It actually came with a free thermos, believe it or not. The part number on it is TKF72. That's a pretty neat little ratchet right there. I love it for tight spots. Speaking of tight spots, this right here will save your butt. This is actually a bundle deal from Matco. It comes with this kit right here, if I can get it open, and this kit right here. So you have most of your bits up here in this kit is majority just bits and a little ratchet that it comes with, but you also have your sockets here. And this is pretty low profile setup. Not only can you use this as an 11mm wrench right here, these sockets that it come with also can be used on a 1/4-inch ratchet, so that's a plus. But these here are pretty low profile. Like, here's the size of my thumb. Yeah, they'll get into some pretty tight spaces, and they have for me so far. So that's a 13mm, but they work pretty well. The part number for this set by itself is SBIT31-G. I'm not sure if this actually has a part number alone for it. Probably not. This set right here is probably just a generic bit set that they rebranded, but this actually came in a bundle deal. Here's the part number on it right there. All right, down below that I have my miscellaneous tapes and writing utensils and Loctite and ultra black seal, dang, I can't think of the name. Silicone. This right here is actually a tool for oil drain plugs when I thought I was going to have to do a lot of oil drain or oil changes at H&W, which didn't really happen, so this barely got used, waste of my money. But just a regular flex magnet, another fuel quick connect, a polyurethane chisel or scraper, a little X-Acto knife, a mirror, some more writing utensils, Teflon tape, regular tape, adhesives and glues, and just miscellaneous stuff. Down here is kind of like my drill bit and scrapers and cutoffs and sanding wheels kind of drawer. I got a brass punch, a door alignment punch, one of my favorite scrapers right here. This is a Matco Scraper. There's a part number on it. It has a quick change blade, I guess doohickey thing there that works really well. You got extra blade storage. It also comes with a plastic blade, so you can use that on mating surfaces for gaskets and whatnot. This is just a cheap step bit set that I got off of Amazon for $25, and it's worked pretty well. Got just a Scotch-Brite pad right here. Another punch that I made from a old 3/8 breaker bar. And then down here we just got our miscellaneous nuts and bolts and sockets and different tools, like this eraser wheel for removing decals, and my welding jacket, some gloves from when I worked at Kia. But that's about it so far. I'll try to fill it up with some more tools and give y'all another tour one of these days. But thank you guys for watching. If y'all would like to see some more videos, let me know in the comments. I got some different project vehicles that I'm working on at the moment. Actually, I'm working on a 97 Dodge Ram right now. It had an intake manifold leak. After I've been looking for the leak for a very long time, I actually replaced this hose right here because it was swollen and it was leaking. And then after that and more inspecting, it was actually leaking between the head and the manifold, so it might not even be the manifold gasket. I'm just hoping and praying. More than likely it is the manifold gasket that's leaking, but I really doubt that it is the head gasket. I mean, I gave it a compression test and it was holding, so let's just hope and pray that it is the manifold, and I'll have it back in place after I clean all this up, because it's got over 340,000 miles on it. And the dude will be very happy to have his truck back. But if y'all want to see a video on this, let me know. If y'all want to see a video on a Toyota Hilux rebuild, let me know. I also have an 87 Volkswagen Rabbit diesel that we're going to restore pretty soon. Y'all just let me know in the comments what y'all want to see. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a good day.